Welcome, everybody, to the Black Belt Barber podcast, the first podcast that talks about entrepreneurship for barber, meaning that chair, it is your business and you should take it as a business. So, this is the new season of the Black Belt Barber podcast. We have a new scenario, so as you guys can see already, and we have achieved a milestone. So, we have over now 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I would like to thank every single guest that came here to our podcast. Thank you very much for your support when you came here, everything that you shared here to help the barber community. And also, thank our audience, everybody that has been watching us for a while. And I hope you guys liked. I hope you guys been learned from what we shared. And I have here my beautiful wife, Lidia Moreno. She's my co-host, and this podcast is sponsored by Invictus Podcast Studios. And you want to say hi?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for staying here with us through the first season. Now we prepare the second season where we'll be sharing our experiences as business owners and our experience, Tico's experience training barbers. And we have a lot of great content, so stay tuned and make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share this video with someone that should be listening to this message. And what we're going to be talking about today.
Hold up. So, guys, share if you know any barber, share this content because the same way will help you, we will help your friend, will help someone that you know. And for many years, I was one of those guys, one of those barbers that I didn't see all the benefits of the barber industry offer us. Was right there, right in front of my nose, but I couldn't see it. And today we're gonna be sharing all the benefits, not for only barbers, but people that already passed to their minds that they they want to become a barber, they want to become you want to be part of the beauty industry. So everything that we're gonna share here, it definitely, I didn't I didn't know before, but now since we know, we're gonna be sharing all this stuff for you. This is a amazing education here today. So the first thing is barber make people feel good and look good, and definitely because how many times I have client that sits in my chair and he's feeling down, he's feeling not well, something happened out there with his family, or he might lost his job or anything like negative. And once you gave him that perfect haircut, he always gonna smile to you. He's always going to appreciate what you do. I think that appearance, beard and hair, makes them more confident as a man.
For sure. 100%. We can see the difference. So I used to stay at the front desk. I still am the front desk sometimes at the barbershop. And you notice the difference from when they walk in and then when they walk out. The smile in their face. And sometimes the wife is there and you have a private room so they don't see what's going on. When the client comes out, the wife is like, oh my God, you look so handsome. It really changes someone's day, someone's confidence, for sure. A haircut does a lot for a person.
For many of you guys don't know that I have a private spot inside the Invictus Barbershop, so where I serve my clients. So I have more privacy to talk to them and engage more. And I learn from them. They learn from me. From them, they learn from me. And you didn't know about haircuts, right? You didn't know anything about barbering.
Nope. When I started this craziness, this crazy project with my husband,
It's
no,
my dream, right?
it was your dream. I had no idea how, like, I couldn't see if a haircut was good or not. Now I have a very particular eye that I can judge. But no, I had no idea. And I honestly didn't know how powerful this profession is in the sense of making people feel good. The barber is like a very important person um, for that client because it's a friend, it's someone they can talk to, it's someone they can tell sometimes even secrets, things they don't tell anybody. It's not just the haircut, it's the whole thing to
We
make them feel good and look good.
we don't know the feelings when they walk in the barbershop. You don't know what's happening in their lives.
Exactly.
You know, I think we have the responsibility of make their day better.
For sure.
I believe that.
They
And
go there looking for that, right? Not only the look, but everything, the talk you guys have. I notice a lot of them come and start talking about the problems they're having at work, with their wife, with their kids. And the barber has the ability to make them feel better based on what they say, instead of making the person feel worse about it, making them feel better about it
and
with a positive word, or maybe connecting that person
with someone
with
else.
someone that can help them. Yep.
Yeah, and the majority of time they go to the barbershop because they're going to an interview. Sometimes they just go for I need my hair shorter and cleaner, but behind that there's always something bigger.
Hmm.
If they go to a wedding or any party,
Or a date.
or date
Usually
or
they schedule
interview,
the haircut for a day that they have something important to do, right?
usually.
If they have to choose a day from the week, they usually choose the day that they have something, because then they're going to leave fresh, beautiful, feeling good about themselves, feeling confident, for
How,
sure.
how can you judge a haircut now if it's good or bad?
Oh, because now I see, and I can see all the details. If you do a fade or a skin fade, I will see how it's blended. I'll see the connection here. I'll see how you style the top. Now I have a better judgment because I've been in so many classes with you. So when Tico would go for a workshop, he studied a lot in the past 5, 6 years. He would do a hands-on workshop so he could learn and improve. And I was there watching the class. So even though I don't know how to cut hair, when I look, I know if it's good or not based on everything I watch. And I watch you teaching, so
You only don't know how to cut, babe, but you can judge people's haircut.
for sure, I can judge. And I'm very picky about haircuts
I
now.
know, and you also can say that if the haircut fits that person, it's suitable for that person.
For sure. Now when I look, I see, okay, his face is round and the haircut is making worse. I don't know how to do it, but I know that it's wrong. I can judge by, like, this haircut is not the best for that person. But I think it's because I was with you all the time and I see you teaching and I see the diagrams and everything you're doing. So I have an idea of what's going on, even though I'm not a barber.
You're always on my side. Guys, I think this is our responsibility to become, if you're a barber and you don't know all these things, like how to cut, create shapes and style, that's our responsibility to make sure that person feels good with their haircut. If their haircut fits or is suit that person. And also our communication with them. Positive words, making sure you lifting them up with positive words, and was trying to help, be positive, and talk them out of problems they already have outside. Bring what can
Positive
I say?
advice instead
Positive,
of
yeah.
being even more negative, like, "Yeah, man, that sucks." No, don't do that.
You know.
Yeah, make them feel better. They're there. They usually go to the barber to feel better, not to feel worse. What else do you have?
So before I move on, yeah, that's the thing. We, as a barber, sometimes we don't see those benefits, right? And this can help us as well to grow as a person, as a professional, but also help other people that are already in your chair. So the next one is connecting with people and networking with them.
I think that's the most important one.
You like to
In
start?
my view, that I'm not a barber, connecting with people and networking. You have the opportunity to meet so many amazing people and hear their stories and learn from them, and also help them connecting. So you have a client sitting in your chair and say, "Oh, I just lost my job. I'm so upset today. I like that job. I was making good money and I just lost my job." But you can ask, "Hey, what do you do?" In case you don't know, what do you do? "Oh, so I work with marketing." "What exactly do you do?" And then probably you have a client that has a marketing agency. So you can connect those two and help the client and help the other client that is hiring. So it's so powerful, the networking side of the barbershop. And most barbers don't take advantage of that because you can help people. You can help yourself too, right? Our accountant is our client. Usually the people we have by our side helping running the business or
He,
consultant now is
he's
our
our client.
client, and they're helping us. So I think that for me, as an outsider, I'm not a barber. That's the most powerful benefit of being a barber.
I think that's very powerful because that's one of the pillars that I lived my life under, or let's say under, networking with people, because that goes both ways, because you can help those clients with like indication,
Referrals.
refer him for someone. But also the other day, a client of mine, he was saying, he was telling me what to do because I was having a problem and a situation in a barbershop. I mentioned to him, and he say, "You do this, and that," and I did it, and kind of helped me a lot. So it does help connecting with people. It's open a huge, como é que fala leque?
It
Huge,
opens a lot of doors.
a lot of doors for
For
you.
sure. Yeah, the networking. I love the networking, especially when we do social projects at the barbershop. It's all through networking. So we have these huge number of clients, and they are there to support and help. It's amazing to connect the dots and put everybody together to do something good. Use this network as a good tool to benefit not only yourself, your team, your other clients, your community. So I love that part of the barber industry, and that's something I definitely didn't know about it. I learned working with you that is the most powerful, most beautiful thing about being a barber. The power of the network.
Oh, one thing that happened this week
What?
was the one of my clients. He has a few, not few, many dentist clinics, and he wants to open a new clinic at Promenade, right here in Coconut Creek. And he mentioned that it was hard for him because the city couldn't allow this and that. And I mentioned that we know the mayor, that we can like talk to him. I don't know what can he do to help you there, and then we're gonna connect both, right? So
Yep.
they can
The power of the networking,
power networking.
connecting people and helping them, and it grows. It only grows. Everybody grow with
He
the
only grows
network.
positive.
Yeah, everybody wins when you connect the right people that are. This person is looking for this. This person is offering. So connect them both.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Also, barbers have a flexible schedule. Flexible schedule. Most of the time, the barbers can get in at work whenever they want, get out whenever they want, go to lunch whenever they want. If they wanted to work on the weekends, they do. If they don't want to work, they don't. So flexible schedule, it's something that is pretty strong in our industry. That's why barbers love to be barbers too, because they have the flexibility, the freedom to not be sitting over there 8 to 5 and have a set schedule. So
Yes.
when they have let's say they have an hour and they need a tool in his station, right? A new scissors or a new pair of clippers, to just run to the barber supply and go get it. So it doesn't have to ask anybody for permission, maybe,
Yeah.
sometimes.
I think barbers are more artists, so I think they choose to be a barber because they wouldn't fit in the regular 8 to 5 job in an office all day in front of a computer. That's why they become barbers, because they have this creativity, this artistic side, and having the flexibility to choose their schedule. It's amazing. Most jobs would lock you in a fixed schedule. You have to work from this time to this time. You have to clock in and clock out. And barbers have the freedom and the flexibility of choosing their own schedule. But this is also, besides being a benefit, it could be bad too, because then the person might not have the discipline to
The
be
clue.
to be at the barber shop in the beginning when you don't have a big clientele. There are a lot of times you be there not cutting anyone, and then you might think, you know what, I'll go to the gym, I'll go to the
beach.
supermarket or whatever, and then it's not helping you doing that.
You missing that comes the next benefit is freedom. But also, if you have no clue what you're doing, if you have no self of ownership, like responsibility, what's gonna happen if you leave the shop at a certain time? Let's say you think you are free now, you have like 1 hour. I'm go to the gym, I'm go to the beach, I'm gonna go there and here. So you're missing the opportunity to serve one new client, and that new client will come like uh, 12, 12 months, right,
Exactly.
at the year. So if you do that, you're missing that opportunity, right?
Yes. So the flexibility could be great, but if you don't have discipline, it could be bad in the sense that you're making bad choices. What you're doing with your time. And then if you are not full yet, you don't have a busy schedule, you might be compromising your growth because then you decide to do something else and not be at the shop. And at the time you're not there, maybe the walking would come and you just lost the
Okay.
opportunity to serve someone. But definitely when you have this flexibility of schedule to dedicate time for your kids, for your wife, barbers work a lot.
Work a lot.
It's not easy like, oh, I'm not working. Barbers work long hours. But after they reach a certain point where they have a lot of clients, they are fully booked, then they can start accommodating this flexibility and saying, you know what, I'm no longer working on Sundays. Sunday is the day to dedicate to my family, and you have that freedom, which
Yeah.
is great.
Also, I want to give a tip here for the barbers that are listening is set a time that you're going to get at the barber shop and the time that you're going to be there for real, using that time to be productive, you know. Get there at 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning, and leave whenever the shop is closed. So, and take the day off to get all the things that you need to do it. If you want to buy supplies, if you want to pay your bills, if you want to have a free time with your family, enjoy the day, just do on the days that you are not working. So that's a tip that I'll give you to all barbers that are listening to us.
Especially if you're in the beginning of your career where you don't have a big clientele, right? You don't have the clients already looking for you because you're starting.
You have to be sitting over there and wait for them. If you serve one client that you are already waiting for them, if you serve one new client a day because you didn't leave the shop, imagine how many clients are gonna be returning to you next month.
Exactly.
So
I
right,
remember when I met you that you were not as busy as you are now.
but I was sitting over there all day, right?
You would go to the barber shop and stay there, and then I remember that there were times that you were free, then you would call me,
Even in slow moments, is spots that I have like
usually in the middle of the afternoon. You're busy right early in the morning and after 4. So you had a period of time that you were kind of free, but you're still there. You're there waiting for clients to call you because then they call, hey, Tico, are you there? I can be there in 5 minutes. And then you were there
you
and say,
know
yeah,
you know
sure.
why I did that?
Why?
Because the first place I worked here, you were you weren't allowed to leave the shop without telling the manager, right? And every time you tell the manager, "Oh, I'm gonna go buy some supplies," I should have done that on my day off, but I didn't. I was lazy, maybe. And once I left the shop, the shop that I used to work at, the lady called me. I have a
Client.
client here, and you are the only one available. Can you come back? I lost time, and sometimes I lose the client. They would let them go.
Yes.
So that's why I started doing that.
Then you learn, right? Don't leave
I
the
learned.
shop.
So
Stay there while you're building your
it's
clientele.
interesting you say that because it never bothered me to stay there and wait for clients. Thank God.
That's how you build a clientele, right? Stay there.
Stay there and do your
And
best.
that client that you probably missed, let's say you decided to leave the barbershop to do something else, and you say, oh, it's going to take me 30 minutes. Fine. That client that called, that walked in, that you missed, could bring you other clients. Not
It's a
only,
snowball effect.
exactly, he could bring his son, his brother, his friend, his coworker, his boss. So
You're
you're
not
not
losing
losing one
one. Yeah,
client, you're losing more than that.
tons of clients.
So use the flexibility. Be smart how you use your flexibility of time. It's a great thing to have, but know how to use it.
So think about it and don't lose one client because you are losing more than one. You might be losing 10 clients, you know. So next is you can work anywhere in the world. Wow.
I like that.
Barbers talk barbers talk about the we talk the same language. It's the hair language, right? That's how I can say.
It's a universal language.
Universal language. So anywhere we go, we can cut hair. You know, even if you don't speak the native language, you can cut hair. So it's a great way of income anywhere in the world.
For sure. I love that part. Most professions, you have to go to college, and then if you graduated, for instance, this happens a lot. We're Brazilians, and it doesn't matter which college you attended to. If you move to the United States, you have to go through a recertification. Sometimes you have to go to college again, depending on which area of which field you work. You have to do everything again, and this doesn't happen with barbers. A barber is a barber.
Barber just if they want to do a continuing education, you know,
A
through our
barber is a
workshops
barber.
and
You can
barber
work anywhere in the world. If you want to move to any country, cutting hair, as you said, it's a
with a
universal
pair
language.
of clippers and shears, you can cut hair anywhere in the world.
Exactly.
Growth opportunities. You want to start?
About growth opportunities. So,
Yes.
um, I noticed that the barber industry changed a lot over the years, and now there's more opportunities than ever. We've seen so many barbers doing
Different
great.
things.
Yes. And then we see them doing education, opening barber schools, doing workshops. We see them launching line of products.
Teaching online, doing different kind of work, like meaning that like more designs and more fantasy colors and stuff, right?
Yes, they are doing partnerships with big brands and becoming partners of those brands. They're launching um, brands of what's the name? T-shirts, hats. They're creating,
Accessories,
merchandises with their
merchandise.
name, and this didn't happen before,
I think there's much more opportunities nowadays, you know.
for sure.
So everybody that is starting right now in this industry, they have tons of opportunities to
Mm-hmm.
grow, you know, in different direction, not being behind the chair cutting hair all day long and do beard anymore. So you have
Yes.
tons of way to grow.
And also the way society is seeing barbers now, it's different. It changed a
We
lot.
we raised our bar because they used to see barber as not a profession. You know, barber wasn't a profession. Now we are artists. People look at us in different way, and that's how it should be. Because for many years we were how do you, hired, no,
What do you mean?
escondido,
Hidden.
hidden. So now they
Yes.
see they look at us differently.
I
You know,
think before was like if you failed in life, you didn't go to college, you don't have a profession, then you became a barber. It wasn't seen with glamour and it wasn't seen like something good. Parents wouldn't want, oh, I want my son to
to
be a
become a barber,
barber. No,
they did.
they didn't. And now I see this is changing. And with other industries too, for instance, like tattoo artists, they were not perceived as artists before. There was so many bad judgment about being a tattoo artist. And with barbers, the same used to happen. And I see the society has changed a lot in how they see barbers. I honestly, when I met you and you said you were a
A barber.
barber, I was like, oh, great. But I wasn't really excited about you being a barber. And I had no idea what the barber industry could do for your life, for your income, for you as a professional. I didn't see the value when I met you.
I think this is a gift
For sure.
because you can not only cut hair and do beard, but you can give back to the community a lot. You know, just not objects and money and all that, but you can make someone that is can't afford a haircut, make them feel good that day. You know, make at least them feel clean for the society. You know.
Yeah. It changes, as we said in the beginning, it changes someone's
Remember
life.
remember one
haircut.
of I think I mentioned that to you. Remember one of my clients that he started dating a girl and he went to the father to talk to him and he mentioned he was a barber. The father didn't like at all. That was years ago, but
Yeah.
the father didn't like at all. But barber? Don't you go to college or anything looking for something real to do it?
Even you,
That's
when you decided to be a barber, people would say,
yeah, back then, right?
They would
Uh,
say you're lazy.
they look at me and thought, that's, I always like freedom. I always like to be in the air condition. I always like to look clean and dress up nice, and I did. But people kind of said words that it didn't prevent me to become who I am, but actually I felt because were people close to me that say, you want to become a barber because you're lazy. You don't want to work. You don't want to do construction because in the way they view the world, like especially immigrants, they they view like you have to do construction so you can make more money and this and that. But I, I felt like this is what I want to do. So I didn't mind what they said, and don't mind what people say. Don't mind what people say about you about being a barber, especially nowadays. Oh my gosh.
I think now it's different. I see with our students when they do the ABC barber, I see the support they're receiving from their family, from their friends. Now the profession is seen different because I see how much support they get when they decide to become a barber and learn this skill of cutting hair. I've noticed how much support they're receiving.
And if you are a barber and you're having this problem with your family, with your parents, they don't believe, they don't know what it is. Show this video to them, please, because I had the one student, Wallace. You might watching me on this one. He's from Boston. He's a young kid. I think I met him when he was 15 to 16, or was 16 already, 16 years old. He told me his parent didn't approve him being a barber because they want him to go to college, go to school, go to college to become someone in life. But that's nowadays, especially nowadays, if you like to be successful, you have to have that ownership that you have to do everything to become. So you don't need to go
To college.
to college unless you want to become you want to become a doctor or a
Lawyer.
lawyer. So you do have to go anyways. But
Yes. We need people
it doesn't
going to
mean
college, but it doesn't mean that if you don't go,
you're not
it's
successful.
bad. Yes. But usually parents want the best for the kids, and some of them have this old mindset that if you don't go to college, you're not going to have a good job, you're not going to make good money. And I grew up like that too. In my house, my parents both went to college. So in their mind, I have to go to college too. But at the end, I never used my profession. I went to college, but I never worked in the field just for a short period of
You
time.
dive into my dream, my love.
Yes, and now I see that mm, you
How
didn't
much you
have
can do.
formal education, so you didn't. I studied in private schools, I went to college, you didn't, but this didn't prevent you from being successful, to having a business, to making a good income.
It doesn't mean you're not smart at all. You're not intelligent at
Exactly.
all. You
I
know.
had this misconception because my parents used to tell me about, like, you have to go to college, you have to go to college, and I went, and I wasn't happy with the profession I chose, and at the end I realized that I didn't need to go to college to do what I do now, by your
And
side, helping with the business.
another benefit of being become a barber, you can explore your creativity. Definitely, barbers are creative people. You can be creating of what you're going to say to that client that is having a bad day. You can be creating of creating some style that differentiate yourself from the other barbers around. You can make something suitable for that person that they might be feeling, I'm overweight, this thing's making me feeling chubby, and you can make some haircut or beard that make them slimmer, and so
I
you can
think,
be creative. And the way you dress too, you can be
yes.
creative. You can have your own personality, use different clothings, hats, or you can be yourself actually,
You can express yourself, I would
express
say,
yourself.
without the limitation of, oh, this is the dress code. You have to dress a certain way. You have to, wear dress that, how do you call it? Dress shirts? No. This formal clothes that you have to use. You wear a suit or something. Barbers don't have that, and they can explore their creativity. And I think each client is a new white blank canvas that you can work with it. And that's amazing. It's not always the same. Every client, it's a different project that you have to work on.
And since you are creative with the client's hair, and you can be creative with yourself, and
Mhm.
the client connects with you with who you are. That's
Yes.
what they.
One thing I noticed that all barbers that were part of our team and are part of our team, they also have other artistic sides. They play instruments, they are good with art. They have this artistic mindset.
99% of barber have a different skill,
Hmm.
not just barbering
But it's
skills.
also an
Hmm.
artistic skill. They do something besides cutting hair that is also artistic, and it's amazing how you guys have a different mindset, and that's amazing.
We can do multiple things. One of our students, Gabriel, he is a welder. He he takes care of the steering system at the church,
He
and he
plays.
plays drums.
Yep.
And he's becoming a barber.
Yes.
Man, that's amazing. You
I
know,
think all our students, we notice they have some artistic skill, and that's why they're looking to become a barber. Sometimes they don't know, it's not evident for them that they have this artistic side, and then when they start doing the class, they realize, whoa, I love these, because then they can express their artistic
the
side,
artistic side. And they tell
creating
us,
the
they say, "Whoa,
haircut,
you do that too?"
creating different haircuts, different styles, being able to explore the creativity they have inside of them.
The other benefits of being a barber is always something new to learn. Our industry is constantly changing and moving, and there's always something new. You can't be bored about it, right? There's always something new, some new techniques. There's a new guy in England, for instance, teaching something unique, new product. So there's no way we can be stuck. There's always something new to do it. Always.
Yes, it's an
There's always a
industry
trend.
that is constantly moving with bringing new stuff, and nowadays even faster, right?
Even faster. Time now is, especially now with the digital era,
Mm-hmm.
the technology. There's a lot of people like using their cell phones to promote. That's something new because I didn't have that, to promote themselves on social media
Mm-hmm.
and bring new clients. So that's.
And there's um, every single day there's something new out there, so you never feel bored, as you said.
And if you're feeling stuck, if you feel you don't know how to cut hair in shape, if you feel don't you are introvert, there's always something out there that you can learn from other barbers. They are already doing well. Learn from them. Just be mentored by them. Could be far from them through social media or through YouTube, but listen and watch and read their bio. Look at what they're doing, because you can help yourself. It did help me a lot.
You know what is funny? I'm thinking that every time barbers, this is something amazing. I see my team, I see with Tico, there's always something new. There's always a new clipper. There's always a new product. And every time you guys see something new, your eyes are so,
Glow,
oh,
shine.
look at this. I need this clipper. And they said, why? It's the same. No, it's not the same. It's funny because there's always something new. And the way you guys are so excited about having a new clipper, having a new pomade, a new shampoo, or a new something, it's so
You know what
amazing.
happened with the older one, the older clippers,
No.
and we just stack them in the back. We
Tico
stack them
has
there.
maybe 8 clippers there that he doesn't use, and he still needs a new one. Every 2 months, he find an excuse to get a new
If you are
one.
one of those barbers that put all the tools that you're not using, but you're still there in the back or in the trunk of your car in your house,
Yes.
let me know.
But what you could do is like donate your
Donate
old
them.
pair of clipper that it's still working, is still good, to someone that is starting, right? Or motivate someone to start. That's what happened to you.
To
You
me.
want to talk about it? How you started?
That's how I started, because someone gave me a rustic pair of clippers and shears. I mentioned to my barber, I was cutting my friends and my family at home, and I was one of his last client, and he didn't have a car. He lived like 10 minutes from the shop that I used to cut my hair, and I gave him a lift, when I get there, he didn't mention anything. When he leave going to leave the car, he said, "Take away from me. I have some for you." And he brought all these rustic tools and clippers and say, "Now it's your time to start for real, being professional." So
This changed your
yeah,
life, right?
changed my life. So with the clippers that we have, guys, that we are not using, let's donate,
Exactly.
right?
Let's do some good and have more barbers joining the industry. Motivate them to join the industry.
Barbers will never be replaced by technology. Before you start, I want to tell you something. I saw the other day on Instagram a machine that cuts hair by itself. It doesn't need a barber. So for now, I truly believe in technology, but now I don't believe that could be replaced. A barber could be replaced from a robot and stuff.
The robot doesn't create relationship. The robot doesn't talk to you like a person would. And the beauty industry in general, manicure, massage, facial specialists, skin specialists, we go there to have this human touch. So you can buy a chair that does a massage. You can buy those fancy chairs, but it doesn't replace the person.
It doesn't replace the
Same thing
person.
with barbers. Technology can kind of help in a sense, but will never replace the person ever. This
Let's
human touch.
let's say the clippers cordless. It's technology,
Yes,
but there's a barber behind that clipper,
exactly.
giving that touch.
Yes, it's like, let's say, painting a canvas. You could have a robot painting a canvas, but the robot doesn't have the creativity the human being has. Same thing with barbers. You are seeing that person and creating a haircut for that person.
Specific for him.
You can use technology, as you said. The clippers are cordless now, and they are improving every day. The battery is lasting longer. The machine is more powerful. They are working on creating cordless blow dryer. I saw in the last Orlando Premiere Fair that they have this machine that dispense the color for you to do your client, and it storage the information about the formula, and then you have no waste, and it's all weighted,
Measured
measured.
precisely.
Exactly, that's amazing. But the machine cannot do the hair, and the machine cannot choose the best color for that person, the best haircut. So I agree that barbers will never be
Replace it.
replaced.
But I think, yeah, like you said, technology will help us being uh, more productive. That is definitely helping us so much because, first of all, the first clipper cordless was the one with tension, right?
Yeah.
Used to like bite people's hair with that thing. So that was the first one, and wasn't fast, wasn't neat, wasn't clean the haircut. But nowadays, it it helps with productivity,
Hmm.
right?
And better
So
results
in
too,
better
right?
results, cleaner haircut, faster. Actually, it does help to make more money because you are faster now,
For
right?
sure. What else you have?
So rebuilding relationships. You want to start that one?
I like that part of the barber
I know.
industry. The relationships. I think it's,
We've been building a lot of relationships during those 5 years, right?
yes. I think this was something, it's related to the network, right? The relationship and the trust the client put on us, put on you, on your work, your students, the trust they put on you. It's amazing to build those relationships.
But I believe you connect with people who has the same views as you, right? If someone go, let's say I party too much, nightclubbing and girls and that stuff and all that stuff. Someone that is married, and that can happen, right? Someone that is married
With kids.
with kids will never try to go out with me, hang out with me.
Yes.
So it's everything. It's like I say in the beginning, the chair is our business, and the reflection of everything you do, it shows who you are to that. And that way, you can connect with certain people. You know, let's give another example of relationship that could go well or bad.
I think, as you said, you always attract people that have the same goals, ideas. Um, your example was just perfect. If you were single and you party, that's fine. It's a season of your life that you're single
It's a
and partying.
cycle.
And then for sure, someone that is married with kids is looking for something else to do instead of partying. Maybe they prefer to enjoy a Sunday morning and go to the park and take their kids to Disney, but they are not partying.
They don't
So,
want to be in hangover on a Sunday and
yeah,
lose that precious time with their
with their
family.
family, yes.
So,
And usually couples, they prefer, let's say, to go to a restaurant for a date or be with a group of friends in a place where they can talk and have fun, but not partying at a nightclub, right? And but what do you mean by that? Like, what is your message about the relationship?
my message is because when you people connect with you because who you are, and those relationship become stronger and stronger and go both ways in helping each other,
Mm-hmm.
or not just helping, but like we mentioned before, we have our accountant, he's our client. Um, who else?
Everybody that does the constructions, the
The stuff that we
renovations at
do,
the shop,
they still are clients.
they're our
Uh-huh.
clients. Yep.
Our general contractor,
Mm-hmm.
our designer,
They're all clients.
these all clients.
Um,
And we go to their house, their birthday, the
that's what I was
family. So
about to say. These relationships become so strong that they become close friends. And it's very common that clients invite us to their wedding, to their baby shower, to their gender review, to a family dinner. Like, I want you to come to my house. I'm going to make dinner for you. Bring your wife with you. And this is so beautiful about these relationships we create at the barbershop. I love it. We
yeah,
met amazing people that became friends
our mentor.
or consultants.
We invited him
Yeah.
to go to our house. He
It's
invited
so
us.
amazing
Yeah.
to have these people around us, like become close friends. It started with a haircut, but then it became a friendship.
I, 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 I still have friends since like 15 years ago because I was cutting their hair, and that became a relationship. Nowadays, we hang out together. We do things together.
You know
You
what?
know,
It's amazing. The it happened this month. This past month, it happened twice. The teenagers that show up at the barber shop and they say, "Is Tico here?" And I was like, "Do you have an appointment with him?" "No, no, I just want to say hi." So you used to cut their hair when they were little kids and they passed by the barber shop and they just came to say hi and see you. It's so amazing to see that barbers are part of people's story, they don't forget.
and even a mom the other day, she stops at the shop and say, "Tico, how are you? How is everything?"
Yeah.
Her son does not cut his hair with us anymore, but she still is our friend. She still is someone that knows me for a while, and she just came to say hi and congratulate me to everything we've been doing. So it was nice to see her that day.
This is so amazing about the relationships barbers create. And then I notice when we're out, let's say we're going to do groceries, buy groceries, and then we're at the supermarket, you always find someone you
Hey,
know.
Tico. Hey, I'm here.
It's so amazing. Even the ones that are no longer clients, but the relationship is still exists.
Still
And
exists.
this is so cool.
I have so many clients that doesn't cut hair with me anymore, not even at the barber shop. And I meet them at the grocery store, anywhere that I go, and they still like we are friends. It doesn't nothing have to do with friendship, meaning that
Yes,
I'm gonna lose my client and he's not gonna be my friend anymore. It doesn't have to be that way.
exactly. And I see when they see you, they're happy to say, "Hey, Tico, how are you? I'm not going to the shop, but I appreciate what you're doing. I've been seeing your progress. I miss you." It's really amazing the relationship that barbers can create with their clients and with their kids and with the whole family. I think barber has what is the word? Every single man has a story about their barber.
Mm-hmm.
And usually they're very loyal to their barber. And sometimes it was the barber that cut their father hair. And they always, if you ask every single man, "Tell me about your barber," they're gonna have a story.
You're gonna have a story.
It's so amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. What else do you get?
Benefits of being a barber: work in a pleasant environment, work at the barbershop is just amazing. You see different people from different countries. You work at the barbershop. Usually has music,
Mm-hmm.
so they play a certain type of music that barbershop personality into it. There's, like I said, different regions, different countries with different religions, people with different skin colors, the your co-workers, the people that work with you. So that's amazing to have around people all day long because you're always like learning and being sociable
Mm-hmm.
too. What do you have to say about pleasant environment?
I like the barbershop vibe. I learned to love it, honestly. I love being there. I love talking to the clients. I love being at the front desk and connecting with them
Make some jokes, smiling, and
and listening their stories. How was their day? Um, I see that not all barbershops will have this good vibe. I've seen barbershops where when you enter the barbershop, you feel like the barbers that work there are not really friends. And this
not very
upsets me
welcoming.
because it should be fun. It's a fun job. You have, of course, once in a while, you have that,
That they
crazy client that, makes you upset a little bit with their behavior. But most of the clients are really nice, and usually uh, the team, the barbers, they get along well. They sometimes do a barbecue in the back of the shop, and they have fun together. So I just love it.
exchanging ideas,
Yeah,
exchanging,
they're
yeah.
always having fun. It's a very fun environment, I would say.
And most of barbers, they connect with the co-workers and they become a friend for a long time too. So
Yes.
that environment, yeah, actually help you to be more sociable because you're constantly surrounded with people,
Mm-hmm.
you know. You know, I say too much. Not a heavy type of work. I have done construction was when I arrived to United States. No English, no clue about this culture. Uh, I used to owe people's money, meaning that my brother used to pay for my visa and stuff, rent and stuff, and I had to pay them back. So I did have to work in under how do you say
Minimum wage
minimum
jobs.
wage jobs. So I had to do construction. But the first job I had was as a dishwasher.
Wow.
Was as a dishwasher. They were paying me like $7.50, and I worked during like over 4 months washing dishes. So it was fun, and I was the thing. That job was the job of my life. I came to the United States. I was
It's not
making
fun.
dollar.
It's not fun to be a dishwasher. It's a heavy work.
But imagine you
I
came.
appreciate all the dishwashers out there because it's a heavy
It's
work.
a very very heavy work.
Yep. Too many hours, and also the amount of things you have to wash and the chemicals you have to use.
The pressure, because you have to be fast.
Yeah.
hmm
What else did you do that was heavy?
Did construction, demolition. I cleaned restaurants. I cleaned house with my my sister-in-law. I did plumbing. I did electric,
Carpentry,
carpentry, paint. I used to
roof.
paint roof. I used, but I did just the heavy type of work in the construction, meaning that when I used to do painting or roofing, I just want my brother put me to strip the roof. That's the heaviest
In
part
the snow
in the snow. So
of the cold
I just
weather.
hated, but it wasn't something that I didn't like. But it's a job that is what's the word you say? It's
Minimum wage or heavy?
no, it's a heavy job, but it's what's the word? So I'm not like saying anything about
Saying
it.
that it's a bad
It's a
work.
bad word, but it's not wasn't something for me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
w-
admire people that work in those fields because it's it's heavy.
it's very heavy.
And usually after years working on construction, people start having issues with their health. So I worked in the granite field where I would sell granite countertops, and I noticed that the people that worked in the back producing, cutting, polishing. The ones that were working for 5 years or more were already having
Back
issues,
problems and
and
stuff.
also with their lungs because they are
The dust, right?
breathing the dust of these chemicals. So it's a very heavy work, and barbers don't do those type of heavy work, even though it doesn't mean it's not heavy because you guys stand
Even though it's not easy.
in your feet all day long. And then if you don't watch your posture, if you don't do core exercises, you start having back issues, shoulder, your hands. You can have
Uh-huh.
a lot of issues too, your knees,
The
right?
advantage of a barber working is not a heavy type of work. Is you work in the AC, you work clean, but
Yes.
barbers work. The average of barbers hours work is
12 a
12,
day,
12,
13 a
12,
day.
10, 13 a
Yes.
day. So that you have to be standing your feet and your back all day long.
Hmm.
So
It's not that it's not heavy at all, but it's not as bad as some other type of
construction.
works, lifting heavy weights all day long. So I would say, as you said, the AC, you're not in the snow, in the cold, you're not in the heat. So it does make a difference for sure.
It does. Good income. Being a barber, yes, you do can make a lots of money
Yes.
and can pay your bills. That can you can achieve all your dreams. Especially nowadays, since we raised the bar, people are giving care more about barbers. I noticed that on the COVID. Remember, people changed drastically their mindset about barbers because they felt how much barber was necessary during the COVID lockdown, right?
Yes, because they
Remember that?
they couldn't cut their hair, and then they realized how important the barber is in their life.
And they let their wife cut their hair and they say, wow, I need my barber, you
Yes,
know?
for sure. Um, I realized that barbers can make a really good income. I didn't know until I met you. As I said, I wasn't happy that you said, "Oh, I'm a barber." I was like, "Oh, nice barber." I didn't think much of you. Like, okay, how am I gonna tell my parents I'm dating a barber? I don't think they're gonna like it. But then when I noticed how much money you could make, even though you're charging only $15 per haircut, you're still making a good income. And I realized that, okay, this can be profitable. And you're working 5 days, Tuesday to Saturday. It doesn't mean you're not working a lot. He was working a lot, 10, 12 hours a day, right? For $15 a haircut, and you're really fast. So you're able to cut three, four,
More.
5 haircuts an hour, right? You're very fast.
And you can always add up an extra service, an extra product to add on your income, right?
Yes. And
You always
then,
can do that. In those, let's say, 30 minutes to 1 hour haircut, also you're making that money cutting their hair, but you also can sell a product
mhm.
that will increase your revenue, right?
Or a treatment for
Or
the hair,
treatment,
like hair relaxer or the
keratin,
Brazilian keratin, or do the
black
fantasy
mask.
colors, black mask, eyebrows. And there's barbers also doing waxing the nose, the ears. So that definitely makes a big difference in your
It
income.
does.
And if each client you offer the eyebrows and do razor and you charge $9, $10, $12 every single client, do the math in the end of the month, how much
How
money
much
you'll
you're
be
gonna be
making
making?
extra.
I
Plus
believe
the products, as you mentioned.
I believe we leave the house and we already like not wasting the time, but we need to use that time that we are behind the chair wisely,
Mm-hmm.
being productive, serve the client and give an excellent service to their client, offer an extra services, extra product so you can increase your revenue. And this is a huge promising industry because it's promising grow in the next years until 2030. Will grow 19%, almost 20%.
Mm-hmm.
Until 2013, it was growing like 1.5. Imagine. So this is a huge opportunity for whoever wants to start in this industry. That's the time.
It's constantly growing, and I've noticed that most barber shops are hiring and they have a chair available, which means there's a lot of opportunities for barbers to make a good income. And I think there is two ways you can make a good income when you're starting. So you're starting the career. There is two routes you could go. One is being faster, meaning you can see more people and you cut more hair and charging less, let's say. But there's also the option to charge top dollar for your service and see less clients. And we just saw a barber that he's charging $150 per haircut in Nevada. So his option was to raise the bar, let me see fewer clients, but make a good income. And there's also barbers that go to the route, okay, I'll be fast, I'll serve more people, but I charge less. And then as you grow in your career, then we have all these other opportunities, products. You can even have your own line of product. It's not difficult. There are companies that they create the product, they already have the product, and then you put your label on it, you put your name, you create a brand.
What about the barber works for someone else? There was a barbershop owner and there was the barber work renting the chair or commission. If they ask, hey Tico, you're saying that you can have your own line of products, you can have your own thing going on, but I work for somebody else, what they should do?
We have an example of a barber that worked for us. Now he's no longer part of our team. He's working in another barber shop, and he created his own line
His
of
own line of
product.
product.
And
I think it's
he's
about communication, right?
yes, and I'm not sure if the shop is selling his product, but in his station he has
Got
his
his
products that he sells to his clients. And then you can also become an educator. You can open your own shop. There's so many things you can do. You can have a mobile barber shop. Why not? You can have a line of tools. So there is a barber that we've been following that I noticed he's focused in creating tools
Tools
for
for barbers.
barbers. So he
Innovative tools, yeah?
because who's better to create tools for barbers than a barber? He knows the needs and he's always creating amazing things that would help barbers to be more productive and have a better quality of work, deliver a better work. And he's selling.
Big shout out for
Morano, yeah,
Morano.
follow him. I see what he's doing and it's amazing. He's creating tools. And I see a barber that it's called Cartel. He created a line of clothes and I noticed that his mindset is barbers like to dress in style, but they need to be comfortable as well to work. And he's creating clothes for barbers.
Yes.
So there's so many things you can do, right?
You know that barber cape that you bought? I think I forgot the brand. So they sell all those capes and stuff for barbers as well. So I think it was a barber is the owner.
Yes. No one better than a
Yeah,
barber to create things for barbers because you know what you need. You know what other barbers need. And you can also create, why not a software, a booking software. You can create, what is the word? You can create a solution for the problems barbers are having, things that are missing. You can be part of the solution. And then if you think, oh, but I don't have the resources, I don't have the money, you have your clients in the chair that can be your partners on those projects.
Yes.
The network thing we've been talking about, you probably have a client that would invest in your project. So
what do you have to say to those barbers that don't see all these benefits and they are there? They have this closed mindset. They don't spend their mind. They only doing haircut and beards, and they don't even sell an extra service or product, or they don't even see a way out to make more money. What do you have to say? Because there's now this new generation of barbers, they already seen that. They already using the social media in their favor. Wallace, for instance, he's selling his own product at his basement, so feel too, Philip.
I think there's two things that will happen with the ones that don't keep themselves updated. One, they will work until they die in the same thing, and that's it.
They will be left behind.
They won't make great income because they're not seeing the opportunities and they're not taking advantage of the opportunities. And a lot of them for sure will lose clients because then the clients will be going to these barbers that are always updating the new trends, always with new stuff. People like new stuff, who doesn't like it? That's why new iPhones are launched every single year and there's a line of people waiting for them. Same thing, your clients are looking for new stuff. So if you don't update yourself, if you're not open to change and to keep yourself updated with the trends,
You'll be left behind.
You will, and you won't be making good income, you won't be fulfilled, you won't be happy. Because what happened with a barber, I think you can talk better about that. After a few years in the industry, and if you are in that position, you've been working 8, 10, 12 years, there is a natural timeline where you be demotivated.
There's a curve that you always you're gonna hit the ceiling that you already booked, you're already making money, but you don't see a way out of having more time with your family. You don't see a way out to increase your revenue more than that, because that's a certain hours that you could be putting in that day, 12 hours, let's say it. And it happened with me. It happened with Cel Elias in Brazil. He mentioned there's a certain time that you work so much for years. Maybe that start when you pass those 5 years of being a barber. You start being disliking and not having the same passion behind the chair anymore. Because I remember that I was fully booked. If one client called or walk in that door, I was like, wow, one more client. I was tired. I started losing passion for my craft. So that's very bad. And one thing that happened too, I went to Costco the other day and I saw a barber that he gave up. Because I remember he has a beautiful suite, like studio, beautiful. He used to see the high-end clients as well, but I could see he'd never looked for innovation, looking for the new trends. I never saw him doing things that outside of his circle, never be involved in the community and explore what is out there. And one day I met him at Costco and he gave up. He told me, Tico, I'm applying for I'm studying, I'm applying for the AC Tech license, and I'm going to start doing AC because I can make more money. I have kids, I have my wife. So that's the only way he saw to increase his revenue.
Yeah.
But there's tons of way,
Exactly. This happens not only with barbers. I think this happens with anyone that has a profession and then doesn't move to learn what's going on, because all professions change. Things are changing all the time. There's always something new to learn. And then if you're just stuck there, and if you're not networking, if you're not going to the barber events, to the barber
not being
workshops, and being, checking what's going on online, that's what you said. You lose passion because it's every single day the same thing, same thing, same thing. Not because it's the same thing, but because you're not open to see what's new. And then you get tired of it. Like, okay, that's what it's all about.
But I believe that there will still be there. But I believe this new generation of barbers,
you mean the young ones?
The young ones, they are coming with different mindsets.
I think social media helps a lot.
Helps a lot.
Because there's always on social media, so they're seeing that things are changing and they're excited about it.
They're hungry for education.
Yes. I noticed that the older generation, let's say people with 34, 40 years or more, I mean years of age, not years of barbering, they didn't grow up as the young generation that has an iPad and iPhone in their hands all the time. So sometimes they're a little resistant to, this Instagram thing, this Twitter thing.
I don't want to show my life too much. My personal life doesn't have nothing to do with that. You can separate it.
Or they think, these colors, these crazy colors, this is not going to last. Okay, but trends don't last long, right? For instance, now we have mullets back. It lasted for a while. Now it came back. And it's going to last for a while and it's going to have something new. But you have to be updated and you have to learn those skills so you can provide that service to your client. You're always updated. Whatever they ask, you can do it. Any hairstyle. And I think that's the beauty thing about barbering. As we said, it's never the same. It's constantly changing. And that's the beauty of it.
Don't be left behind, barbers, and let's keep growing. Let's keep evolving. Dynamic and fun. I think that goes with pleasing environment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Barbershops, most barbershops, they are fun. Everybody are happy. Most of them is. People are making jokes. I like to go to a barbershop that everybody look at me and make jokes. I like that. with my coworkers. I like that.
Fun environment.
Fun environment.
Sometimes watching soccer together and,
Talking about stuff,
yeah, men stuff.
man stuff.
That's fun. Yeah, I agree.
So fast return, that's one of the benefits that I like is the fast return of an investment. You don't have to go to college for years and invest tons of money. And sometimes the return is not as fast as you think
When you go to college,
when
you
you
mean,
go to
right?
college.
And you invest $300,000.
Almost $500,000 when you want to become a doctor. And you have all these years to pay back. So you have
100?
that
No,
huge.
it's more than 100 to become a doctor.
No, I said almost 500.
Oh,
Or I
500.
say 100.
You said 100.
Okay. Dyslexia.
Yeah, it's so many years, right? The
So-
investment is so
Uh-huh.
significant. And to become a barber, we're talking about what? 15,000, 20,000 the most
15,
year of-
20, yeah.
class. It's not that long. It's not that expensive compared to the return and how fast you
If
get your money back.
If you think about it, being restricted barber is way less time, and to get a restricted barber license, it's way less time and less money as well, right?
Yes.
So you can do that in a year. You can
The
make
restricted,
the
6
restricted
months maybe.
6
5 months,
months,
6 months.
and you can already start working and making money,
Yep.
making that money back. And the tools, even less than $500, you can start. It doesn't have to be the best tools in the market, but definitely all the barbers that I taught before, I teach them. After 6 months, they always buy new tools. And that makes me happy because that's a huge investment. Invest in your tools. So every 6 months, they start buying new stuff. They got happy. I'm gonna buy this new because I'm making the money back.
Exactly. The return is so fast. If you think, let's say you spend $15,000 going to the barber school, right? And let's say you charge, nowadays, most barber shops are charging at least $35. So let's
The
divide
average,
by
yeah.
$35 haircut. So you have to do 428 haircuts. And let's see these divided by, how do I do the math here to do how many haircuts you have to do, how long it's going to take you to do.
Eight
so if you
haircuts
can
a day.
do 8 haircuts a day,
Yeah.
we're talking about 53 days of work approximately. So if you work 6 days a week, let's say 3 months,
3 months, you can get that
4
return back.
months, right? You can get the return back. So it's not something that'll take years of financial aid that you have to pay back.
And have that in your back.
For like
Wow.
10, I know people that has been paying their student debt because they got a loan for like 8 years. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You have these in your back for 8-10 years to pay back. It's crazy. And barbers can pay back so fast compared to other industries, which is a great advantage for sure.
So if you guys ever cross your mind to become a barber, this is the perfect time. It's very promising industry. I love what I do. I love making people feel good, looking good. And since we mentioned here all the benefits of being a barber, I hope you think about that. If you ever cross your mind, if you have anybody in your family, if you do have a friend that mentioned to you, tell them and show this video. And I hope you guys like this podcast. This is me and my wife here sharing what we have done, all our experience, things that we apply in our life, in our profession, in the barbershop that make us successful. Thank you for watching. And one thing I have to say is the more you learn, the more you earn. Follow, share, like, and comment here because I want to hear what you guys have to say. Okay? See you guys later.